Hello, Amy. Can you tell me if my things have arrived at yours yet? I was told by the moving service that they had finished delivering. Yeah, we had loads of boxes delivered yesterday evening. What was all that? David said he called you, but you wouldn't tell him what you've sent us. If they've arrived safely, then that's all that matters. You haven't opened any of them, have you? I don't want you going through what's inside. You're not allowed to touch anything. David told me you said you didn't want us opening them over the phone, so I haven't touched any of them. But what are they? There's so many boxes, and we had an extra delivery this morning. I hope that's the last of them, because we really can't take any more. What are we supposed to do with them? We don't have the space to store them, and it's becoming more difficult to move around because they're all stacked up in the hallway. We can't keep them like this. What do you want us to do with them? It's fine, don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything with them. You have a spare room next to the living room, right? Just put them in there. That's all you have to do for me. Excuse me? Mary, I can't do that, and you can't just decide that for us. We're already using that room for something else. We can't use it for storing your things. Even if you are my mother-in-law. I'm sorry, but everything's still in the hallway, ready to be moved, so I'd be grateful if you'd have them cleared away soon. Don't worry, I'll be there soon. I'll tidy everything away myself, so you don't have to do anything. Everything will be out of the boxes and tidied away in no time, so just leave everything as it is. I'm sorry, what? You're coming here to take everything out of the boxes? I don't understand. Why would you do that? I should be there this evening. I'm asking you why? To put away my things. I don't want you or my son going through my things, so I'll organize everything myself. You don't have to do anything. You should be happy that I'm willing to do it all by myself. I still don't understand. Why would you send all of your things all the way here to organize them? Can't you do that at home? Oh, didn't David tell you? I thought you already knew that I'm moving in with you. That's why I've sent all my things to yours. I'm looking forward to living with you both, and I hope that we can get on well. Have you already prepared my welcome party? You'll have to set one up to introduce me to the neighbors. Excuse me? I haven't heard anything about you moving in with us. Are you sure you're not mistaken? David already said no the last time you asked to move in with us, so why would he change his mind? And first of all, I haven't given my approval, so there's no way he would do something like this behind my back. We can talk about that when I arrive. I'll be there by this evening, so make sure you have something prepared for me by then. No, you can't just decide something like that by yourself and force it on us. We don't have anywhere for you to sleep, and like I've been saying, we don't have the space for your stuff. I'm sure there must be plenty of things you don't need or use that you can throw out. The room next to the living room gets a lot of sunlight, so I'd like to use that as my bedroom. If you can clear that room up for me, I can work on tidying my things away as soon as I arrive. It should be clean by the time I get there if you start right away. Oh, and I get back pain if the mattress isn't comfortable enough, so make sure that you get one that's meant specifically for back pain. I love the memory foam, but the cheap ones are too firm, so think carefully before you buy. I still haven't said that you can live with us. David hasn't told me anything, so I'm pretty sure that he hasn't given his permission either. And what is David's dad going to do? Is he going to live by himself? Are you splitting with him? I don't want to live with James anymore. I want to live with my son. You won't deny me that, will you, Amy? Will you welcome me into your home? I've got nowhere else to go. You can't just kick me out into the street when I'm begging this much. What time do you think you'll be here? I'm gathering up the last of my things, so I should be able to leave the house soon. I'll be there by this evening. According to the train timetable, my train should reach the station around 4 p.m., so would you pick me up? I've got a lot of things to carry, and I don't know the way from the station. Can you come and get me at 4? Thank you, I'm going to go get ready. Mary, you can't come and live with us. Like I told you, we don't have anywhere for you to sleep. The room you're talking about isn't available, and we can't throw things out just because you need a place to stay. You can't decide this and guilt trip me into letting you stay. But David already said that it would be okay. If he gave the all clear, then there's no reason why I should ask for your permission. You should listen to what your husband says if you want to be a good wife. Do you understand? Do as David says or he'll start hating you. David told me that he never said it was okay. He says that he already told you couldn't move in with us. If you're going to insist, then I'll check with him again. But even if he does say it's okay, please know that I'm not okay with it. This is my house as well as his, and I won't agree to living with you. Why not? Why does it matter so much whether one person is living in your house or not? I won't take up that much space, and it's not like you have children to raise. What on earth could be the problem? Can't you pity your own mother-in-law and be generous enough to take care of her in her old age? It's not like it'll cost you that much money. You should be happy to live with me. I'm your husband's mother. So you want us to pay for everything while you stay with us as well? That makes it even more difficult for me to let you stay here. We don't have an infinite supply of money or space. Please don't be unreasonable. You're the one that's being unreasonable. You married my son. You should be the one taking care of me anyways. It's your job to take care of me. I just called David and he tells me that he never gave you permission to stay with us. He says that he made it clear that you can't move in with us. Who should I believe? My own husband or someone who's lying for her own convenience? Oh, really? I don't remember that. I heard him say that it was okay. That's not an excuse for you to try to force your way into our home. You don't have to phrase it like that. I'm much older than you, so please don't talk down to me. I'm not making excuses. I've no idea what David would want to marry a woman like you. He's so honest and gentle, but you're so rude. What could he have seen in you? It's a mystery to me. David said that he hasn't given his permission, so please stop. You can't live with us, Mary. We'll send your things back as soon as we can. It'll be a problem for me if you do that. I'm leaving this house and I'm not coming back. I don't want to live here with this man anymore. You're free to leave James if that's what you want, but you can't come here. You can't stay here and you'll have to find somewhere else. Mary? Mary? Please don't ignore my messages. Amy? Hello? Call not answered. Call not answered. Amy, where are you going? I've been waiting for 15 minutes. I told you I would arrive at 4 p.m., so why aren't you here to pick me up? What are you doing? Answer my calls! I've got too many things to carry. I can't leave the station. Would you hurry up and collect me? Mary, I told you that you can't come live here, but you were the one that ignored my messages. Call not answered. What are you talking about? I thought the conversation was over. We were supposed to meet anyway. And I thought we could talk about it then, if you really wanted to discuss it more. But you never came to pick me up. Will you hurry up? I'm not coming to collect you. Say whatever you like, but you'll have to collect me because I can't go to your house by myself. I have too much luggage. I can't get on the bus either because I don't know the way. You really haven't been listening to anything I've said, have you? I've already been waiting out here half an hour, and it's starting to get embarrassing. You're the one that's not listening to me properly. I can't collect you because we're at your house. We've already asked James about what happened. What are you talking about? We heard that you stole from his savings and spent his money without his permission, and that he got angry and asked for a divorce when he realized what you had done. I don't remember that happening. Are you sure that's what happened? My memory's been very hazy recently, so you can't blame me for something I don't remember. Apparently you wouldn't leave when he asked you to, so he suggested that your eldest son and his family come live with him. Didn't he? And that means that you have no choice but to leave, doesn't it? Because you were always horrible to your eldest son's wife. She even got depressed because of the way you treated her, and your own son doesn't want you to come near her. so you've never been invited to visit them. I heard that you've never been to see their children, your own grandchildren, because they don't want you harming their mental health either.
That's not true. She's just too weak mentally. James is being ridiculous, too. How can he choose his daughter-in-law over his own wife? He told me to leave because I stress her out. But why should I leave? I was here first. She's only here because she's married to our son.
I think he's being fair.
What did you say?
James asked you for a divorce and asked you to leave because you spent his savings, but you wouldn't leave. I think it's only normal that he would prioritize the feelings of his daughter-in-law over you. If anything, you're lucky he hasn't been more harsh on you. You're lucky he hasn't forced you out and made you homeless. He could have done that whenever he wanted. But he knew that you had nowhere to go, so he's given you time to find a new place. You should be more thankful to him.
Who do you think you are? I'm not going to let you talk to me like that. You have no right to lecture me.
Anyway, every single box has been returned to your house.
What? Why would you do that?
James said he didn't want your stuff taking up space in the hallway while you searched for a new place, so all of the boxes have been stacked up inside the storage shed in the garden. By David.
David did that, but I thought he was at work.
He was, but when we decided that the best course of action was to send everything back, he left work early for me, because I can't carry heavy loads. I'm pregnant.
What? Why didn't you tell me that? I can't believe it! You're pregnant? That's even more reason for me to come live with you and David.
I don't see why that's another reason. You'll need help around the house when the baby comes. You'll be much more at ease if I'm around. You can go straight back to work and leave the baby with me. We're fine. When we're closer to the due date, my mom will be coming to stay with us for a while. She raised 4 children, so she'll be a great help, and I respect her as a mother.
And I've already raised 2 fine boys. I raised the man you're married to, so that says something. You'll need someone like me around.
I heard from David's dad that you haven't been helping with any of the housework these past few years, and you spend most of your time fawning over a young actor that you recently became a fan of. I don't think I can trust someone who's spent her spouse's savings on buying fan merchandise and doesn't even feel guilty about it. I don't trust you enough to leave you alone in my home with my child.
Why do you know about that? I haven't told David any of that.
I heard from James when I asked him how things were going. And when David was moving the boxes, he had to open the heavier ones to lighten the load. We saw that it was filled with magazines, CDs, and DVDs. You must have spent a lot of James's money considering the amount of boxes that were filled to the brim.
You opened them? I specifically told you not to touch my things. If you've broken anything, I'll have you reimbursing me. Can't believe you would touch my things without my permission. Just how insensitive are you?
By the way, your things would have never fit in the room you asked for, and that room has been set up for the baby, so you wouldn't be able to stay anyways. That's why I told you we didn't have any space, but you wouldn't listen no matter what I said.
Then what am I supposed to do? I made all these preparations to live with you. And I'm already at the station. I came all this way.
That happened because you didn't even ask for our permission before packing up your things. We never asked you to come, and we never said that you could stay. I think it's best that you go back to your house, or rather your husband's house, and ask if you can stay for a little longer while you find your own place. Your eldest son's old apartment is paid for until the end of the month, and he suggested that you could stay there. Might be a better idea for you to talk to them about that when you get back. Well, you'll have to apologize to his wife first.
What about David? What did he say? Isn't he on my side? He'll let me stay with you two if you ask him.
He's saying that he doesn't want to have anything to do with you. You've already caused him a lot of trouble in the past, and it seems that this was the last straw. We finally finished moving your boxes, so we'll be going home now, but I suggest you go back to your house while you still can, since there aren't a lot of trains running this evening. You'll end up having to sleep at the station if you don't hurry up and make up your mind. Even if you get back, I think the first step you'll have to take is to apologize to your eldest son and his wife so that they can feel comfortable with you letting you in. Considering all the pain and trouble you've caused, it looks like the real baggage is yourself. A few days later, Mary ended up having to carry all her luggage back home the way she came. She returned, but by the time she got there, her husband, son, daughter-in-law, and grandchildren were all having dinner. They didn't even let Mary in. But Mary had nowhere else to go, so she finally acknowledged what she had done to her daughter-in-law up until now and apologized to her. She was allowed back into the house under the condition that she would leave the next day. She spent the night, but had to wake up early in the morning to take her luggage to the apartment her eldest son and his family had been living in. But she would only be able to stay there until the end of the month, so she had to find a decent place to stay herself. In the 40 years she had been married to James, Mary had never worked, so it was unclear whether she would be able to find a decent place by herself.
Thank goodness you're still alive after all that.
What are you laughing about? This is not something anyone should ever be amused by. Do you not realize that I cannot walk now?
Why are you getting so upset right now? You should be happy that after something like that, you're still going to be able to live life in some manner, right? Heck, the dang car got totaled, so I consider myself lucky to come out with no scratches.
What are you talking about, Kurt? Really? Do you not realize whose fault all of this is? Because of your inability to focus on the road, I'm left not being able to use either of my legs. Why aren't you even coming to the hospital to come see me after that? Every single day has been hell for me!
Yeah, I hear you. But having to go every day listening to you blame me is a real pain. And do you really think I want to think about having to push you around in your wheelchair right now? That's why today, I've gone out and got our divorce papers, and we'll be filling them all out.
What?
And tomorrow, I'll be bringing them to you so that you can fill out your half. I want to have them handed in before noon, so make sure you fill it all out correctly.
Oh, wait a second. What are you saying, Kurt? Are you serious right now?
About what?
After having put me in a wheelchair, now that I can no longer use my legs due to your reckless driving, you're just going to throw everything we had away and divorce me.
Well, the Skylar I married was never in a wheelchair. And since you're in one now, you're not the same person I chose to love. And honestly, I cannot be asked to care for you at home. And so, divorce is the only option, okay?
I can't believe that you're acting this disgusting towards me right now. Do you not even understand what's happened between us? I'm never going to forgive you for this now, Kurt.
I couldn't care less about you forgiving me or not. We're probably never going to meet again anyway after the divorce, right? We'll just become two complete strangers living in two very different worlds from one another now. And I mean that as in you'll be living in a world where normal people don't have to be.
Where normal people don't have to be.
You can't walk anymore, right? So you'll never be able to live like us normal people anymore. And for me, I can't be asked to live with someone that can't walk.
I'm at a loss with everything you're saying to me. I have no clue why you and I ever got married in the first place. But I never thought to myself that the man I'd been married to was a monster. At least now, after what's happened, I finally had my eyes open to the kind of beast you really are.
I'll be bringing the divorce papers tomorrow morning. I'm sure you won't be able to come and get it for me, right? You can't walk after all, so that sucks.
Why, Kurt? Why are you being so mean to me? I'll make sure to have my little brother come and grab all of my things from the house. But I'm really hoping that in the meantime you begin to realize how awful you've been to me just now.
Yeah. If I happen to feel any regrets, I'll let you know.
Goodbye forever, you piece of crap husband.
Long time no see, Skylar. You doing all right?
What? Who is this?
What's up with that? You're being a pain in the butt again. You know dang well who I am, right? I bet you're pissing yourself with joy because I've come back to talk to you.
I don't think I have any reason to be joyous about getting a text from the worst man on this planet. What do you want from me? Make it short, please.
What's going on? Your attitude right now is a little bit unwarranted. You're not even close to the same Skylar I knew from back in the day.
Seems you may have forgotten what you had done to me 2 years ago. I'm tired of having to explain what happened back then, so just get on with whatever you've come to me for today.
I'm going to be getting married again.
Huh?
Well, I bet you're pretty surprised by that, aren't you? And the woman I'll be with is only 21 years old. She's like 10 years younger than you. Being able to marry a very young woman like her is the best thing that could ever happen to me.
All of this is so gross and annoying that I'm getting the urge to vomit right now. But before I do, what is your reason for telling me this?
Huh? What's that lame reaction for? Well, whatever, I guess. I'm just letting you know that I'm getting married again. I just assumed it was the right thing to do since you're my disabled ex-wife and all.
Well, thank you so much for going out of your way to tell me that. But I'll be going now.
Hey, you're being too cold to me now.
What did you expect to get from me by coming back to me after 2 years to tell me that you're getting married again?
Come to my dang wedding, Skylar.
What?
I'd like to take a long-awaited look at you in your wheelchair. So come to my wedding. I'll make sure that everything's okay for a cripple like you to even make it into the wedding.
Wait, are you being serious with me? You want me to come to your wedding? Why do you want me to be there again?
Well, to be blunt with it, my girlfriend really wants to see you. She doesn't believe me when I said that my ex-wife is in a wheelchair. And when I explained the situation to her, she still couldn't believe me. And so, I just thought I'd have you come to the wedding to prove I'm telling the truth. I even told her that I left you because I hate disabled people. Yet she still just could not believe what I was saying. It's so cute when she gets like that.
Huh? You said that.
It doesn't matter. So just come. I'm sure you have nothing else going on, right? You can't even work a real job without your legs now.
I do not have a job right now, but...
Well, you couldn't get up to do anything, so of course you don't.
I wouldn't say that's the reason for it, but...
It's thanks to me leaving you after that accident that I'll be able to marry such a young woman. I'm so dang happy that I wasn't looking at the road that day.
Hold on a second, Kurt. Are you sure you really want to be saying something like that right now?
Sorry. I was just telling my true feelings. Well, anyway, what I've been trying to say with all of this is I was right to throw your crippled butt away 2 years ago. I'll be marrying a youthful 21-year-old now. So I'd love to see your face when you come.
Well then, I'll come along with my splendid husband.
You have a husband now? Are you trying to compete with me now?
I can see that you'll try whatever you can to look down on me, but I have a life of my own now. Fine, I'll come to your wedding, Kurt. I'm actually looking pretty forward to having my amazing husband come with me to see the wedding of my monster of an ex-husband.
You are so full of yourself. I can't wait to see what creature you bring along with you.
See you later, then.
Hey, Skylar! What the hell is going on?
What is going on with what?
Why are you with Dr. Frank right now?
I told you that I would bring my splendid husband with me today, didn't I? Seems that you thought I was pulling your leg or something there, though. But I made the promise that I'd bring him, and so I did.
But why did you end up hanging out with that high-life living doctor?
Because he's my husband?
Huh? Wait. You're joking with me. You're saying that your husband is actually Dr. Frank?
That's right. Is there something wrong with me being with him?
Why are you with an elite doctor? There's no way he should have gotten married to you.
Don't you think you're just blinding yourself with all of your lies about the person you think I am? I mean, you work in the pharmaceutical industry, Kurt. You should be more understanding that a man like Frank would want to be married to me. He may be a super well-known doctor to a lot of people in the medical world, but that doesn't mean he's as cruel as you are. I know that in the past I said that I'd never forgive you for what you did to me, but because of you leaving me, I was able to start talking to him while being treated in the hospital. And so actually, I do forgive you and thank you for being a jerk and leaving me.
Huh? You met him while in the hospital?
It wasn't at the first hospital I had been admitted to. Rather, at the next hospital I started staying at for my rehabilitation. And while trying to get my life back together, I met him, and we soon found ourselves getting married to each other. I never wanted to think of all this being because of what you did to me, but now I think much differently. I can truly say that I am thankful that you were such a monster. And because of that, I'll say thank you this one time.
Something like that happened to you. I never thought that could happen.
And just to let you know, my current husband is very much upset with my ex-husband.
Huh? Dr. Frank is?
He can't believe that one of the employees of a pharmaceutical company that he partners with would be so disgusting. At first, I hadn't wanted to remember all that happened between you and I on the day of that accident, and after. So for a while, I didn't tell him too much about the details. But today I decided that it would be a good idea to let him know what you had done to me, and now he's fuming with anger at what he's heard. He's even started going on about how he'll make sure that you learn your lesson for what you've done by having you dismissed from that company.
Hold on. There's no way he could do something like that, right? Stop going on about such nonsense, okay? I'm sure that a man as powerful as Dr. Frank can in some way do something about me, but going that far about something that happened in the past is going way too far, right? What would his reasoning even be?
Do I really have to explain to you the reasoning? If you really take a step back and think about what all you've said and done to me, you'd understand why he's as upset as he is with you. Well, just be happy that we didn't bring any of this up to you at your wedding today. We've already left now, so you don't have to worry about seeing either one of us.
Huh? You've already gone home? I wasn't even able to introduce myself properly to Dr. Frank. You seriously went back home already?
Frank told me that he doesn't want you introducing yourself to him. I mean, that makes sense to you, right? Don't tell me you don't even have enough common sense for something as trivial as that. You jerk.
Are you kidding me?
But on the way out of the wedding, we made sure to tell the bride.
Huh? What did you say to her?
About how you're the worst man on this planet. And about how it was really all your fault that the accident happened and the reason behind me being in this wheelchair. And since you and I were married, I couldn't sue you for what had happened. And you just handed in the divorce papers for us and threw me out because you couldn't handle that I became paralyzed from the waist down.
Wait, what? Why would you say something like that to my woman at this wedding? She's going to start thinking that I'm some kind of monster now because of you.
Maybe you shouldn't be such an awful person if you don't want her to think of you as a monster. LOL. But that's not all.
What else have you done? Can you just stop all this crap?
I let her know that you'll soon be out of your job, and she'll be with a man that is unemployed right off the bat. And then I proceeded to suggest that there was still time for her to call off the wedding. LOL.
Why would you say such needless things to her? Is that the whole reason that I haven't been able to find her anywhere yet? She just texted me. This cannot be happening to me. She just told me she cannot see herself marrying an unemployed loser and is canceling the wedding. Now I'm going to become the laughingstock of everyone that's come here to see our wedding. Why would you do all of this to me? I'd come so far, and you're destroying it all now!
I have something that shouldn't be all that surprising for you to hear. Doesn't this all seem like you getting what you deserve for the monster that you've been?
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Perhaps this is all due to what you'd done to me in the first place. LOL. I know that what I'm saying right now is 100% correct and that you asked for all this after putting me through hell back then. So, do you understand things now?
But you didn't have to be the one to do all of this to me?
Of course I had to be the one to do all of this. And listen, I'm not the one that forced her to leave the wedding. She was just being smart by choosing not to get married to some brainless jerk that would probably do the same to her as you did to me. To any sane person, I did the right thing by telling her about you, LOL.
Why would you still be this upset with me, though? Because of what you've started, my life is going to get all messed up. Stop trying to ruin my life right now. At least hold off of trying to have me fired from my job. I'm in a really good position in the company right now.
I don't really care about what happens with you, Kurt. And besides, I've already told my husband everything, and he's free to do whatever he wants with the information. Frankly, I don't even have a problem with him having you fired from your job. But know this, I'm not the one that'll be firing you. So from here on out, I have nothing else to do with you. I'm sorry that I couldn't stay until the end of your wedding and all. But it doesn't matter now since the wedding will be canceled, right? LOL. Sucks to be you, LOL.
You stop all of this now! I can't believe you ruined my whole wedding to such a young woman!
I'm pretty sure it was you that ruined a lot of my life 2 years ago, but after causing me to lose my ability to walk after your own inability to drive, you never once came to me to say sorry for what you'd done to me. So why are you getting all worked up now over your widow wedding getting ruined?
I get it! I'm sorry! I'm so sorry! Is that what you wanted from me? Now stop trying to ruin my life any more than you already have! You should know that back then, I didn't mean any harm to you by leaving you, right? You and I had a lovely relationship back then, right? So don't make me lose my job just over some silly little accident!
When I told you that I'm not working at the moment, you immediately started telling me it's due to being a paraplegic, right? Right now, my husband is making a lot of money for us, so I'm a housewife for him. And actually, I'm able to work as a freelancer at home making money doing the things I love. So I think it's fair to say that destroying someone that looks down on people for being disabled is the right thing to do, right?
Please don't say things like that! I never meant to make you feel bad!
Goodbye, you piece of crap axe. And thank you so much for inviting my husband to that precious wedding of yours. LOL. After that, my ex-husband Kurt really did end up getting chewed out by his boss on the phone and lost his job on the spot after I finished texting him. He had tried his hardest to get his boss to listen to him, but was replied to with his boss letting him know that in a pharmaceutical company, there is no need for someone that is hateful towards those with medical disabilities. And once he had gotten off the phone with his boss, the news that the wedding had been canceled was out, along with the reason why. And a whole lot of guests there stormed out while laughing at Kurt like he was the joke that he was. He then ran after the bride and tried to ask her to stay with him, saying that he still loved her and knew that deep down she still loved him. But her parents came to interrupt things and let him know just how much shame he had brought to all of their family by letting their daughter marry a monster. Him. They then proceeded to tell him that they would be cutting ties with him, and he was left with nothing but himself and the costs of a canceled wedding. Kurt really would have been better off had he never contacted me again after the divorce. But because he went out of his way to try and get a few more blows into me by making fun of my disability and all that, he lost both his job and the young wife he was so proud of. At least for me, having him text me back after all that time gave me the chance to finally get my revenge and make sure that he couldn't hurt anyone else after what he'd done to me.